Okay, I got a package in the mail yesterday, and I was actually gonna do an unboxing, but I was tired. I just got home from work. I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to eat dinner. I wanted to watch TV. So, I was like, no, just fuck it. I'll do it later. I got two things in the mail. One of them is a handguard upgrade. The other one I'll show later, probably tonight if I get around to it, if not tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't want to get the freaking camera out and sit down. I didn't want that bullshit. I'm on my massive break now. I'm going back to work in an hour, so I got time. This is my handguard. I kept it. I didn't throw it out. And anyone that knows my M1 carbine, I said 2 times I shot it and it kept coming up. Well, like get Loctite, glue it, put a freaking rubber band around it. I mean, I heard it all. I went to the range again. And this is very, very hard for me to do because the range requires me to go up during the week. So I have to be off for work, and I lost a lot of time because of the snow days. I had to work 3 days last week. I was supposed to be off the entire week. No, week before. I'm sorry, week before. Week before, I was supposed to be off the entire week instead of off 3 days. So I went last week. And the range master saw the thing. He tried to fix it for me. He tried to tighten it back up. He said, "This fucking thing's gone. You gotta get a new one. You gotta get a better one. Get a GI spec. Blah blah blah." I'm looking into wooden ones. I'm looking into I'm looking into this one, that one, online, this, that. I did call Carr, who owns Auto Ordnance, and I'm like, you sons of bitches. I'm like, I bought this goddamn thing, blah, blah, blah. A lot of these wooden guards have to be hand fitted. Not all of them, but some of them. It's gotta be hand fitted. I don't know if I know how to do that. Do I have to send it to another guy? To go to a gunsmith? Carl was like, okay, get a box, put it in the box, send it back to us. We'll put it on for you. We'll send it back to you. Choate was like, they're metal, they're aluminum, they fit everything. I got the metal upgraded guard, hand guard. I'm gonna get close in another minute. Yeah. I fit it on in like 2 minutes. I put it in, tightened it up, ring went right on. I will undo the ring again and retighten it just to make sure before I go out again. I'm probably not going to shoot this until late, very, very, very late June. Possibly like the last Friday in June or January. July. Because I have one more day off. It's a Monday and the range is closed on Monday. So, it's probably after school that's out for the year. But the metal handguard, metal is just better than wood because it's easier to shape. You just stamp the part as opposed to carving it out. Metal usually lasts longer than wood in most cases, not all cases, but most cases. But also, this guard is ventilated. It has holes studded along it so that as you shoot, the heat is not entirely entrapped, because this handguard entirely entraps the heat, and it will eventually fade out. It could take a day, it could take 10 years, it could take 50 years, but this will eventually need replacing. This, although it may need replacing, will need replacing much later in life, because this, first of all, looks bad fucking ass. I mean, even though it's an upgraded part, it's not World War II GI spec. It was a later edition. But this is really a badass fucking thing. Because, let me get behind the camera. It is cleared. See the ribs? The vents, rather. That allows for the smoke and the steam and all that other bullshit that's coming off the gun, because it does get hot to vent a little bit, to have a little air. So that way it lasts longer. It is empty, it is unloaded. Sighting picture's okay. Obviously, live fire will be much different, because live fire, the bolt will come back automatically. There's obviously no one in that direction. The room is empty. Yeah. So, yeah, I gotta untighten this later and just refit it to make sure it's on there nice and tight. But the bitch was, with this thing, I would take it home, tighten it, hold it upside down, and just beat the fucking shit out of it all day and night. And it would never come undone. The minute you took it to the fucking range, you'd go like that, it would rise up a little bit. You go like that, it rises up a little bit more. You go like that. This is completely covering the sight, and you can't see shit. You just gotta aim in the general direction, and boom. Now, I was doing something very interesting when I was shooting this. I would fire 3 or 4 shots, the fucking handgun would come up, block my sight, go off, I have to stop, take the fucking mag out, refit it. Fucking disgrace. But one thing that was very important that I did, I always kept the muzzle at the target, and I always pulled the trigger. Now, this is probably the last time. I go back to work at like 10 after 1, it's like 12:30 now. I have to leave for work in about 40 minutes. Anyway, this is a weapon of last resort, okay? Standard burglary, home invasion, I use a handgun probably, but this is for the last resort. This is for the LA riot scenario. This is for the doomsday scenario. This is for the scenario where there's, no more society and I have to do a fucking roaming patrol outside. Or I have to stand guard outside the building because they're looters. And this is for when doomsday comes. Okay, this is the militia shit going down. LA riot style, New Orleans style. That's what this is for. And if I'm ever called upon to put this into its desired intent, which is as a last resort, defensive weapon, defensive arm, I cannot afford to be fucking with this in the middle of a firefight. Now, obviously, this is on now. I'll test it. I'll see how it is. Maybe I'll do a full review on it by the summer. I don't know. But, God forbid, the shit really did hit the fan. And I had this piece of shit on. Or, God forbid, this fucks up too. You don't know. But, God forbid, I'm in a situation where I must defend myself. Okay? I cannot afford to stop and fix this shit. You always have to keep the muzzle aimed at the target. Would you miss? Probably. Now, obviously, I would not be firing a rifle, and I would try not to fire any gun at a 360 target. You've seen real life shootings on TV, on the internet. Some of us have actually been in real life shootings. 360 degrees all around, enemies all around, friendlies all around. You could be shooting a bullet at that guy over there, and your daughter is in the room behind him. 360. You don't know what's coming and going. So obviously I wouldn't be shooting this around if I had family members in areas, because this is pretty far. At 100 yards, and I'll put the link below, at 100 yards, this rifle can shoot through a 6-inch block of wood, several pieces of frozen denim, 400 magazine pages, and a jug of water. Okay? The range is 300 yards, which is nothing compared for a rifle. But the range is 300 yards. That's the damage I described above at 100 yards, which is a third of the distance, a third of the range. Okay, these were close quarter weapons in World War II in Korea, and even in Vietnam. The French Foreign Legion bought these, used them in Vietnam. Okay, so this is still a devastating rifle for close quarter combat. And if I looked out my window and saw guys with flaming torches coming at me, yeah. Or if I was at my shop in Koreatown in LA, yeah, this will defend your life. You need more magazines for it, I gotta get them, but this will defend your life. So I would not be able to stop and fuck with it. But if I'm in a situation where there's 20 guys in front of me, and every single one of those guys is hostile, weapons, threats, every single one of them is hostile, there's not an innocent person around for a mile. Just having the rifle aimed downrange at the threat would be probably, hopefully, a deterrent. If it wasn't a deterrent, let's face it, 20 guys clustered together advancing on you. You know they're all guilty. They're not innocent people. They're rioters. They're a mob. They're trying to kill you. I might be aiming there. The handguard might come up, block my vision. Bullet might fly. Will it hit the intended target? Probably not, but it will still go into the crowd of hostiles, and it will still register a hit or at least a threat. And believe me, the best bullets that were ever fired by fate. Guy on the battlefield picks up a rifle, points his rifle, pulls the trigger. The bullet flies by destiny and lands in the general's fucking forehead, or the most amazing shot possible. There have been a lot of times throughout history where bullets were fired down the barrels of whatever rifle, whether it was a smoothbore musket or a flintlock rifle or a bolt action rifle or a lever action rifle, but a lot of bullets have flown throughout history and have been lucky shots. And I'm the type of guy that'll happen to. If I got a friggin' mob of guys in front of me and they got flaming torches and they're coming at me, and I fire, the muzzle, the handguard goes up, blocks my vision, I fire blindly at the crowd, I would nail the leader between the eyes. That's the luck that I have. I have friggin', Hitler had Satan's luck, I must have a fucking clown's luck, but that's the issue. I never got into the point where, stop. I always got to the point where, shoot the magazine empty if you can. Just put the bullets on the paper. Grouping is still very good. The grouping on this rifle is still pretty good. It's not 1/2 MOA at 1,000 yards, but it's good enough, especially for a guy that only shot it 3 times. You know, if I was using this every weekend for a year straight, I would be expecting better. But for a guy that only fired this rifle 3 times, and a guy that's primarily a handgun shooter, this is fine. Grouping I was doing is fine. I always maintained the muzzle at the threat, and I always pulled the trigger. And if I had a shot, I took it. If the round was in the chamber, I fired, because that was what you will do. You will do suppressive fire in a hostile situation. And you've seen soldiers from World War II up until today where they go into a hostile environment and they just boom, 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 boom. We're taught today here not to spray and pray. We're taught to shoot when you have a target, shoot the bad guy. I had my professor, the Virginia State Trooper, tell me, if you're in a parking lot and there's a guy shooting at you, and there are innocent people around the parking lot, don't shoot back. But for the type of environment where world is coming to an end anyway, hostile forces coming at you anyway, no innocent person in 1,000 yards anyway, you're not going to get out alive unless you fight anyway. That was the mentality I had in mind with this. I will shoot as long as I can. If the handguard fell off, you know what I was fucking doing? The handguard would fall off, and I would get bitchy, and I would try to hold it without a handguard for the last 1 or 2 shots, just to pull, because that was the mentality I was trying to get into. I was trying to build up that mentality get into that habit. World is coming to an end. I've picked this rifle up to defend my life with, and I must always maintain vigilance on the target. So we're gonna test this new handguard out probably within the next 2 months. Yeah. If my indoor range allowed this rifle, indoor ranges are different sometimes. If my indoor range allowed this rifle, I would have been there last night probably, or this weekend, but it is what it is. Okay, I will let you go now. I'll probably be back on tonight to discuss the other thing that I got. It's not a gun. Believe me, I wish it was a freaking gun. Shannon Watts, we can't do internet sales anymore, thank you. Idiot. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go now. I'm gonna be back on tonight probably. I gotta go play in traffic later, so